6:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala, read by Sounditavam. The President invites all political parties to help stabilize the economy and address the ethnic issue. The Japanese Foreign Minister will visit Sri Lanka next month. Sunday school final exams will be held today and tomorrow. Tuition classes for the 2023 A-level exam prohibited from tomorrow. The Health Minister says there is no need to panic over the new COVID virus strain. In foreign news, Israel expanding ground offensive into central Gaza refugee camps. In sports, Man City back into top 4 with comeback win at Everton. In a significant announcement at the centenary celebration of the Badulla Gurutalavala Muslim Central College last morning, President Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighted 2 critical challenges facing the nation, that's building a stable economy and addressing the ethnic problem. The President extended an open invitation to all political parties again, urging them to join hands in achieving these goals, irrespective of party affiliations. President Wickremesinghe emphasized his commitment to safeguarding the rights of all citizens and expressed a desire to swiftly resolve lingering issues related to reconciliation. He revealed plans to make a special statement on these 2 matters in March. During his visit to the Gurutalavala Muslim Central College, the sole Muslim national school located in the Uva province, the President received a warm welcome from the students. As part of the centenary celebrations, he inaugurated the college's new website. The principal, Mr. A. Samun, presented the commemorative issue to the President, marking the centenary of the college. President Wickremesinghe took the opportunity to award medals to students who excelled in the GCE Ordinary Level and GCE Advanced Level exams. Congratulating the college on its centenary, he left a note in the commemorative book and posed for a group photo with the teaching staff. The Japanese Finance Minister Shunichi Suzuki said Tuesday he will visit Sri Lanka and Cambodia on a 4-day tour from January 9th to strengthen Japan's relations with the 2 countries. In Sri Lanka, Suzuki is expected to meet with President Ranil Wickremesinghe to discuss debt restructuring for the country. In November, Sri Lanka and a group of creditors led by Japan and others reached a basic agreement on deferring debt repayments and cutting interest rates. In Cambodia, the finance minister will work with closer bilateral ties with the 2 countries this year, marking the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. The Commissioner General of Examinations, Amit Jayasundara, said the final examinations of Buddhist Dhamma schools and Catholic, Hindu and Islam Sunday schools will be held today and tomorrow. Accordingly, the exams will be held in 669 examination centres across the island, according to the Department of Examinations. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Department of Examinations announced that conducting all tuition classes in preparation for the 2023 GCE Advanced Level Examination will be prohibited from midnight tomorrow until the end of the exam. Accordingly, conducting tuition classes, seminars, workshops and other related activities targeting the examination will be prohibited from midnight tomorrow. The 2023 GCE A-Level exam is slated to commence on 4th January 2024 and will continue until 31st January 2024. The second phase of the 3rd school term of all government and government-approved private schools is slated to begin on February 2nd, 2024, as per the Ministry of Education. Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana yesterday said that the people need not panic over the new strain of the SARS-CoV-2 virus spreading in various other countries, and as a result of a strong vaccination program implemented in the country, immunity against the virus has been established. The minister said that though the new strain of the virus, which caused the coronavirus pandemic, had been detected in dozens of countries, it did not pose a significant threat here. People need not be in a state of panic, and the ministry is on alert on this. But the minister urged the public to wear masks, since it reduces the spreading of other respiratory diseases also. The World Health Organization recently categorized JN1 as a variant of interest. After first being spotted in the United States in September, the variant has spread across 41 countries. That concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala.
The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka yesterday said that when a mobile phone is purchased, the customer should ensure that the relevant phone has been approved by the TRCSL. The Deputy Director, Menaka Patirana, said that every mobile phone has an IMEI or IMI number pasted on the box. The customer should send the relevant IMEI number to the TRCSL on 1909 in a form of an SMS. She said that the customers can buy mobile phones approved by the Commission without any hesitation. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala.
This is Watchlight.
A special dengue control program has been initiated jointly by the health and education authorities ahead of the upcoming 2023 GCE Advanced Level Examination in January, focusing on examination centres. A dengue control program will be conducted at all examination centres across the country until December 31st, prior to the commencement of the examination, aiming to ensure a dengue-free environment. The exam is scheduled to be held from January 4th to the 31st countrywide. The prevailing weather conditions over the past few months has helped create an environment conducive for dengue mosquito breeding that needs urgent attention and came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Making headlines this morning, Israel expanding ground offensive into central Gaza refugee camps. The US approves $250 million in military aid to Ukraine. And architect of modern EU, Jacques Delors, dies, aged 98. Israel is expanding its ground offensive into Palestinian refugee camps in central Gaza as it warns the war with Hamas will last for months. The UN has expressed grave concern after Israeli strikes reportedly killed dozens of people in Burej, Nazarat and Maghazi camps in recent days. Heavy fighting is also continuing to the south in the city of Khan Yunis. Meanwhile, the Palestinian president has described what is happening in Gaza as beyond the war of annihilation. The Hamas-run health ministry has said at least 195 people have been killed across the territory over the past 24 hours. More than 21,100 have been killed, mostly children and women, during 11 weeks of fighting, according to the ministry. The war was triggered by an unprecedented cross-border attack by Hamas gunmen on southern Israel on 7th October, in which at least 1,200 people were killed, most of them civilians, and about 240 others taken hostage. The White House approved another tranche of U.S. military aid to Ukraine worth some $250 million yesterday. U.S. officials said that the latest package included air defense, artillery and small arms ammunition, and anti-tank weapons. But the package marked the last funding available without fresh approval from Congress, where talks have stalled. Ukraine has warned that the war effort and its public finances are at risk if further Western aid is not forthcoming. Amid a stalled counter-offensive in the east of the country and a little changed line of control, Ukrainian officials are facing the prospect of a slowdown in aid from allies in Washington and Europe. Although the Ukraine war effort has broad support in the U.S. Congress, an agreement on further arms has been stopped by Republicans who insist that tougher security measures on the U.S.-Mexico border must be part of any military aid deal. Former European Commission President Jacques Delors, described as the architect of the modern EU, has died aged 98, his daughter says. He helped create the single market, allowing the free movement of people, goods and services within the bloc. Serving from 1985 to 1995, Delors also laid the groundwork for the single European currency, the euro. But for those sceptical of integration, especially in the UK, he was seen as a symbol of Brussels meddling. Delors' daughter, Martine Aubry, said he had died in his sleep on Wednesday morning at his Paris home. French President Emmanuel Macron praised Delors, who also served as French finance minister from 1981 to 1984, as a statesman with a French destiny and inexhaustible craftsman of our Europe. Back to the headlines of the world news. Israel expanding ground offensive into central Gaza refugee camps. The US approves $250 million in military aid to Ukraine. And the architect of modern EU, Jacques Delors, dies, aged 98. With that, we conclude this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
The Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Thailand, Chamida Kolone, discussed with Deputy Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Pongtei Thayothin, on the progress of the application to open the Thai market for 5 types of Sri Lankan fruits. These fruits are fresh, fire coconut, wood apple, pineapple, dragon fruit, and Scotch bonnet pepper. The meeting was held at the Department of Agriculture of Thailand. Speedy implementation of the MOU on agricultural cooperation and MOU on cooperation on the application of sanitary and phytosanitary measures signed in 2004 were also discussed in the meeting held recently. That came to you in development news. Sports news up next.
Moving on with sports news.
Manchester City had to come from behind to beat Everton as the champions kept pace with Premier League leaders Liverpool. Pep Guardiola's side are aiming to lift the trophy for the 4th consecutive season and had looked like falling 8 points behind the Reds, but recovered with 3 second-half goals to lift themselves to 4th in the table. In blustery conditions, Everton weathered an early storm from City as Jordan Pickford made crucial saves to twice-thought Julian Alvarez, as well as keeping out Jack Grealish's poked effort at full stretch. The hosts took the lead with their first meaningful attack of the game when Jack Harrison slotted in from close range, and he could have had a second against his former club, but was denied by Edison's stunning save. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Apple's latest smartwatches can resume being sold in the US after the tech company filed an emergency appeal with authorities. The sales of the Series 9 and Ultra 2 watches had been halted in the US over a patent row. The US's trade body had barred imports and sales of Apple watches with technology for reading blood oxygen levels. Device maker Mazimo has accused Apple of poaching its staff and technology. That's business news. Economic news up next.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
One of the world's biggest shipping firms, Hapag-Lloyd, will not resume its use of the Suez Canal despite an international military operation to keep the area safe. Yemen's Houthi rebels backing Hamas in the Israel-Gaza war said they are targeting vessels which they believe are heading for Israel. Several firms have stopped using the route following attacks. On Tuesday, Danish shipping firm Maersk said it will resume Red Sea operations. With the Suez Canal to the north of the Red Sea, it makes the route one of the world's most important routes for consumer goods, oil and liquefied natural gas shipments. The alternative route around the Cape of Good Hope adds about 3,500 nautical miles to the journey, leading to fears of disruption to the supply of goods transported through the Suez Canal and an increase in prices to cover the higher transport costs. That's economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the eastern and Uva provinces, also in the Hambantota district. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern, north-central and in the Matale and Norelia districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in Ampara, Batiklo and the Hambantota districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at several places elsewhere off the island after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the eastern slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north-central, northwestern, eastern, Uva and southern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabragamo and western provinces, also in the Gaul and Matara districts during the morning. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President invites all political parties to help stabilize the economy and address the ethnic issue. The Japanese Foreign Minister will visit Sri Lanka next month. Sunday school final exam will be held today and tomorrow. Tuition classes for the 2023 A-level exam prohibited from tomorrow. The Health Minister says there is no need to panic over the new COVID virus strain. Israel expanding ground offensive into central Gaza refugee camps. And Man City back into top 4 with comeback win at Everton. On that note, we conclude this morning's news broadcast, and now it's back to your hostess, Geethanjali Ramanayaka, to keep you in great company this Thursday morning. A very good morning to you, Geethanjali. Compliments of the season and the very best to you for 2024. It's all yours.